between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field so they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. A run here for J.D. McKissic. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll go again with McKissic. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissic, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And some room to work. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Washington. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. On third down, it's Prescott. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, these are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there. And he did a lot of that on that play.
On play action, Wentz. That's going to be caught. Arcega-Whiteside. Touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders go up by 2 touchdowns. Now Joey Slye for the point after.
It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Next to score, Commanders 41, Cowboys 7.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Hey, 47. We're going to 54 right here. We'll go 46, 46. 46.
Prescott from the gun. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
That's good for a Cowboys.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Play action now. Prescott. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis.
And now off to the races down the right side.
And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive? No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
And this is going to be covered up by Washington.
So an onside kick fail in the 1st quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Thomas has got it. Complete. He's got room at the 30, and he'll be brought down at the 27.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, Wentz. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. So nothing doing there, and that's going to bring up second down. Throwing is Wentz. Thomas brings it in. Touchdown, Washington. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over it.
Slide for the PAT.
He's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel from 21 yards away. And the Commanders are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Commanders 42, Cowboys 15.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. They'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Go.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I've played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Win 5-3, win 5-3.
Gibson again.
Back back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Gibson. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoided that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. On 2nd and 9, Wentz got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with McKissick. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
Down, man.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory.
Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On 2nd and 9, Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Prescott now.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down.
And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown.
Jahan Dotson, as the first half is winding down. And the Commanders will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Sly on for the extra point.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score. Commanders 49, Cowboys 21.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. He'll fire this deep for Gallup.
And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Wentz now on first down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz.
Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
He's got Thomas yet again complete. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, even a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now Prescott on 4th down. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And he is going to have the Cowboys 1st down on what will be a big play there on 4th and long. Prescott yet again. He'll go underneath here to Elliott. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing, Prescott. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Now that's Elliott, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 23. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Prescott. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Prescott to throw it.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And the Commanders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Play action. Now Wentz.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. On first down, Wentz. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Wentz's throw here complete to Dotson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Wentz. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 19. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
This one, 82, 40.
Into the red zone. Wentz.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Dallas, Texas is the spot. 3rd quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
Again, it's Wentz. And he will find his man, Samuel. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Commanders have taken a 5-touchdown lead. A familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now. Third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening it up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Malik Willis with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys are able to claw one back. Willis will try and throw for this.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Roll the guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Wentz. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a play fake. Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
He's got to figure something out because the current formula's not working. On 2nd and 11 now. Willis. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and forever.
And he's going to go down again. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
Willis, gotta have this one.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Cowboys' 36-yard line.
On second down, a run with Gibson.
And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Throwing now is Wentz.
Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders.
A great play there. His third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year.
And the Commanders have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the fourth. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And nowhere to run for Willis. He goes down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Third down, it's Willis.
He'll buy some time right. And he lost the football.
with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
First down, Washington.
Now Wentz. Going right back to Dotson. Touchdown! Jahan Dotson, 29 yards. And the Commanders add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Willis. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On 3rd down, it's Willis. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over 1st and goal. Wentz now to throw. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always comes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
A loss of a yard.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
Willis, 4th down, has to have it.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. That's going to be caught. Arcega-Whiteside. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Wentz going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
One final try here for Willis. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Wentz to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And the Cowboys come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time.